This is Dr. David D. Schein for Saving America, and this is our week in a nutshell. The Trump assassination attempt is likely the major story of all of 2024. It probably will dwarf the election itself. After all, it was the first time since 1981, wounding President Ronald Reagan, that a president or a presidential candidate has been shot in the United States. The world continues to become more dangerous under Biden. Ignoring warnings, Beijing escalates aggression against the Philippines. In a ridiculous case that should be offensive to every thinking American, Mexico has sued gun manufacturers for making weapons that the cartels are illegally smuggling into Mexico. Of course, if Mexico controlled its own borders, the out-of-control acts of the cartels would not be happening. On the domestic front, Elon Musk is moving SpaceX and Twitter headquarters from California to Texas. This is a predictable result of California's continued insane efforts to drive businesses out of the state. In more good news for the business community, a Baltimore court dumped a climate change case against 26 different oil companies. That case has been pending since 2018, and the court said, hey, you know what? This is something the federal courts need to take up. It's just not a state action. The Dems and the donors are dumping Biden in big numbers. They're running for the hills, folks. And it's pretty clear that nobody really cares about Joe Biden. They just care what he can do for them. The continued failure of the bureaucratic state is documented by the rising cost of so-called Obamacare. Sadly, it is trillions and trillions of dollars in cost to taxpayers. Speaking of such failures, the Postal Service is increasing stamp prices for the second time this year. A court just nailed Hillary for FEC violations 45 times bigger than Trump's. There's no jail time being assigned to Hillary. The fine that they're paying is pretty modest relative to the $6 million of inappropriate expenditures. A judge dismissed the murder case against an Arizona rancher with prejudice. George Allen Kelly, age 75, was accused of murder while protecting his property. It doesn't justify murder, but it certainly reaffirms Americans do have a right to protect their home and property. Thanks for joining me for this special episode of Saving America. This is Dr. David D. Schein, and if you've enjoyed this episode, subscribe on your favorite platform.